Good day, everybody. It's Thursday, March 13th, and we are busy. We're getting ready for the season. If you look, just pan our shop here. We've got two boats stacked at the far wall. We got the DeWalt boat, DeWalt Power Tools boat, and then we've got a boat under there for the Villages Grandmaster team. I've got a couple boats here for Dynamic Dragon boat. All need to be trimmed. I've got this boat that just came in today from the fiberglass shop, and it is going, I believe, to Cleveland. And we even have a boat outside that's going to Akron, Ohio. So we are super busy. We even have one of these second generation BuKs. I think this is a 2014 model. We're reconditioning, so we've got it gutted. And we're gonna put brand new benches in here. We're gonna shine up all the gel coat, put new hatch covers, new drummer seat platform, new steering arm, and a new wrap on the side. This boat's gonna look like brand new when we're done with it. But I thought that I would take this opportunity to explain some of the differences between the various generations of BuK boats that have evolved in out of Germany. And BuK was actually, just going back to the first generation boat, BuK was one of three companies in Europe that began to manufacture fiberglass boats. The other company was, I believe it was called Pel from the Netherlands. And then there was a company in the UK whose name escapes me, but they're long gone. But what happened back in the mid 1990s was that this company in the Netherlands, Pel, and then the company in the UK, what they did is they basically took a teak boat, one of those gifted teak boats from the Hong Kong Tourist Association that were shipped out to big cities around the world. I guess a few of them came into London, and they took one of these boats and they basically made a mold of a teak boat, and they might have faired it out a little bit and made it look better, but basically those boats were made out of a mold that came from splashing a teak boat. But what BuK did in Germany is they just started from scratch. They said, we're going to take the teak boat, the basic overall dimensions, but we are going to engineer a hull that follows the basic, again, default dimensions of a Hong Kong teak boat, but we're going to make a brand new plug and a brand new mold, and that's how we're going to build our boat. So these guys in Germany, did it the right way right from the get-go, and I think that was 1996. I first met those guys in 1999 at the World Championships in Nottingham. I was looking for a boat to import into Canada, a fiberglass boat, for my company at the time, and I met with the Germans, I met with the Dutch, I met with the guy from the UK. The Germans actually kind of shooed me away initially. They thought, the two brothers that ran the company, they didn't like my idea of switching from 12 benches to 10 benches. And I did the simple math for them. 2 times 10 is 20, so 10 benches makes sense. Anyway, they were a little nervous about I guess diverting from the IDBF spec at the time, which was 12 benches in the boat for a 20 paddler team. Make it make sense. It doesn't. But by the end of the competition in Nottingham at the celebration party, they brought over a bottle of wine and plopped it down on the table, and we made a deal, and kind of the rest is history. I've been doing business with BuK. I guess that's, what is that, 35 years? No, I don't know. Anyway, so again, that generation of boat was a fiberglass hull, and the laminate was built up. So it didn't have a liner like these new boats, a two-part boat glued together. It was just the hull, an 8mm laminate, and the inside was painted with like a deck paint. And a lot of you might be familiar with the design of that first generation BuK because it has 3 T-shaped bulkheads at seat 2, 5, and 8. And those were just tanks. Like they were lightweight, only 600 pounds, but they were very, very well built, and And in fact, some of the events you may participate in still use those boats from the early 2000s when we started importing them and retrofitting them in Toronto. So you'll recognize them also because they have the wooden in-whales in this area. It's marine plywood in-whales, and a lot of them had the wooden caps as well. Some of them had tilted seats. We went through some, trial and error with the way we designed the interior of the boat. But the bottom line is, and the most important thing is, the boat had 10 benches, not 12. And that boat was introduced internationally at the Philadelphia World Championships in 2001, where everybody was very, very happy to be racing in 10 bench boats finally. Anyway, fast forward, and in about 2004, BuK decided, and was the first company, again, to build the two-part, sometimes called a clamshell boat, but it's a hull and a liner. So this boat and this second generation boat, this is the third generation, this boat and this boat were made from two molds. There's a mold to make the hull, and there's a mold to make this interior liner, and then the two are bonded together, and you've got basically what you see here, almost a finished dragon boat, except for the benches and rails and other little bits and pieces. But just to explain the difference then between the second generation, which is this boat here, and that was 2005 to 2019. This is what you kind of got. And this 2020, this new third generation model came out. Big difference, and the most important difference is the drum platform. You can see how from the deck, the keel deck, up to the drum, this drum platform here, and the drummer seat platform is all one level. Whereas the new boat, you come from the deck, you come up to the drum, and the drummer seat slides in here, which means that the drummer, he or she, is actually sitting about 8 inches lower than they were in the second generation boat. So a much safer design for the drummer and for the paddlers, because the drummer sitting up high is a very high center of gravity, makes the boat a little tippier, but this way the drummer's down nice and low. There's some other little features of the boat that they tweaked as well, but overall the boat, the hull design itself is the same as it was back in 1996. It's just the liner that's evolved since then. Anyway, always been my favorite boat. I've sold a ton of them, and now we're building them right here in the US of A. This one obviously just needs rails and benches, and again some deck plates, a couple other little minor things, and it's ready to go. Anyway, hope you learned something. I enjoy making these videos, and I hope you enjoy watching them. Thank you very much. Have a good day.